All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Multiverse. So you can see right away what I've done is went ahead and blanked out the unit tabs here. If I zoom in, so I'll zoom into my own territory here, you can see them physically, right? But there's no tag as to how many are there. So I think this will be adequate for me in terms of casting and sort of like explaining what's going on in the game without giving away troop dispositions and so forth. And what I will do is overall, I will keep this distance right here so as not to reveal too much detail about my allies and what's going on with them, because we now officially have uh, rubbed up against, not in a perverted way, uh, but maybe, the African coalition down here. So Rururu is a viewer. 8 Basil is a viewer. Sir Tandoom, Tom Miller, all of these are subs in our channel. So, yeah, I just can't really, in good faith, um, list those troop. So when we have this clicked on, you can see all those little blue and white tabs for all the units, and it really does kind of show you where everybody's populated. So I'm very comfortable with this, with what we got going on here. So, quick update with what's going on with me here. I am trying to bomb this out specifically for the Power of Us. Update on the Power of Us. He had a family emergency and had to leave the country and fly overseas. Long flight. And anybody who's made that kind of flight knows, like, you'll have, if to go over the ocean is like 22 hours, and then oftentimes you'll have to have connecting flights. So sometimes you can spend like 24, 28 hours in the air, which that's all day and all night, and it sucks. And then sometimes you end up going someplace that doesn't have good internet connectivity. So what was happening here was I was trying to bomb out this territory for him, and he wasn't moving. He wasn't moving in. In addition, he got dropped from the coalition. So this is the Power of Us over here, who's one of our YouTuber friends, by the way. He casts 1914 as well. And he wasn't moving, and he wasn't joining our coalition. I had an invite out to him. I was like, hey, rejoin us. And nothing was happening. So I finally went ahead and filled out the coalition with 2 new additions. One was Poland, and Poland is huge. I was happy to add a 93 territory ally to the game. I feel like that really kind of locks in Europe as being a real dominant player in this game. And then, I did consider the idea of like, well, am I keeping my allies from heading east? And no, I don't think so. And here's why. I think that Lazo, who is Papa Smitty, he has options both in the Middle East and in Africa. All of this is him, by the way. Over here, we have, this is Zinzin, who's also made some headway into Africa, so he can expand south as well. Benaiah, who has buttoned up, look at that, all of Iberia here pretty much. And I'm not sure what he's going to do, if he wants to move into these AI territories and just take over the entire continent. That's up to him. He also has options to expand down into Africa as well. So in terms of just blocking in people, I was a little concerned about it, but I thought, you know what? Popcat can move up into Scandinavia. And he is taking, it looks like, possibly Ireland, probably. And so we all have room for expansion now. And I really like the idea of letting Poland in. It's a big country, and I'd rather him welcome him in and make him a brother than fight him. And then I let in here Trondheim. Trondheim said, "Hey, I'm a subscriber." He applied to the coalition. Said, "Sure, why not?" So I let him in. So then, and then Power of Us came back and said, "Hey, I'm back. Can I come in the game?" And I was like, "Uh-oh." Like, I have 7 out of 7. And I was like, hold on, hold my beer. I got this. So I went over and I asked Trondheim, and I said, hey, man, one of our founding members is coming back in the game. he had a family emergency. He's coming back. Is it okay if I move you over to silent brother status, which is you're not in the core 7, but you are protected. You are a made man. You're one of us. And he was super cool about it. So I was really happy. It's like, it's funny in this game. So there's a lot of bad blood in this very game. If you want to go over to the Discord, you can see it. It's just right there. It's just right there. And, people name calling and stuff. And, I've talked about this in the past. Maybe it's because I am over 50. I'm 52. Like, I've been around for a while and I've got thick skin and I don't care. Like, when I see these people getting super butthurt and, you have to name call me. It's like, oh my God, man. A, it's a game. B, it's the internet. Have you been to the internet? It's a it's a toilet. Like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, there has been a lot of back and forth, bad kind of. uh, Here's one that I don't really understand is China seems like a pretty nice guy. He may be gone by now. So my friends over here, 50 Cal, Clapping Cheeks, they butted up against China over here. And he may be gone now. I don't even know. But China wanted to join them, and he was a sub. And there was so much bad blood between them that even though, and you guys, Clapping Cheeks and 50 Cal, you can correct me if, by all means in the comments below and on the Discord, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think they could have, not been sweet. I think they could have allowed him into their coalition and been like close to first place with us, like been almost in first place, but they hated him so much. Like by that time they hated him so much. They were like, fuck you. And they, I think they might've killed him even. Like, I can't find him anymore. He might've left the game because his username was China. I believe he's in previous videos in this series, but, my point being, there's been some bad blood, and there's some bad blood over here as well. This is the Midverse here. And I think the Midverse, part of what they're mad about is they really wanted to play this game cooperatively. And Papa Smitty is not, how can I put this? He doesn't play well with others. That's how I can put it. I think I mentioned him in a previous game as like, he's the ogre on your team. And what you do is you just open the cage and then you run away. And it was funny. He has threatened people in my coalition several times. Like the first time he made it clear. So Papa Smitty's deal is he plays the papacy here. He plays Lazo et Umbria. And he knows it. He's played it many times before. He knows all the ins and outs. He knows all the AI territories that are around. Notice he hasn't attacked these. He hasn't taken them. Why? Because I don't know why. He has a strategy. But anyway, he told us early on, if anybody like in the European coalition, in my coalition, dares to come down here, he will kick their ass. So like he started the game by threatening us. And I don't know, man. I love that. I know it's weird, but I do. He's just not fucking around. And then he thought somebody was sharing. Maybe some screenshots with some of these guys down here, because we're all on the same Discord. We're all in the same subscriber group. And so he threatened to come up and kill somebody in my coalition. I was like, oh my God. Oh, wow. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is there has been a lot of back and forth. There's been accusations of gold marking from at least 3 or 4 people attacking 3 or 4 other people about gold marking. And so I finally come down on the only thing that I can come down on, which is, you know, I'm not a referee, guys. Like, I'm not an umpire. I'm just I'm casting these games. That's all. Like, I'm providing a running commentary that I hope can kind of keep our subscribership sort of represented and understood in this game, and I'll keep on talking about. It looks like 50 cal and clapping cheeks, and I think that no, Alpha Wolf is not part of their coalition. So this is the Transverse over here, which does have members, as I recall. Over here, that's Noop Midverse. Yeah, Jathan is starting to take on a leadership role, I think, over there. That's Noop Midverse, and as is this and this. Nope, not Roo Roo Roo. Keep on getting confused about that. So who over here? I thought some Transverse players were over here too. So some things have changed here for sure. But I do find that by casting this game, it kind of keeps us all united and interested in the game. So I want to keep on doing that for sure. But here's the deal. I mentioned last video, I'm not your dad. I'm not. Like, here's the thing. Like, if you reach out to me individually, I'll be glad to talk to you about anything. Like, I think I've got some wisdom, about the world. I think I've got a good perspective. I'm not a pissed off dude. Like, I've learned to kind of like roll with the punches and understand the world. So, like, if you want to reach out to me and talk about stuff, I'm cool with that, right? But I am not going to be an umpire. I'm not going to be a referee here. It's too much. And I think anybody who's dusted it up in the Discord and seen what's going on over there, it's like, one minute I'm convinced, oh yeah, he's definitely gold marking. And the next minute I'm like, oh yeah, but that's not specific to the territory. So he could have 3 battleships develop at the same time. In fact, we typically start kind of batch because factory levels develop at a certain time in the game. And so that's when you're going to start several battleships. So of course they will all develop and come into the game at the same time. So it's just a lot of hearsay and how many resources it would take to. And so here's what I can say. Like, guys, I'm out. I'm not an arbiter. I'm not a referee. It's too much. Like, honestly, like, what I'm trying to do is keep an eye on the Discord and make sure that things don't get abusive over there, which they haven't really. I've seen the word bitch a few times, which that's fine. But I don't want to get too rough over there. And then I want to cast these games, right? I want to keep us unified as a community. I want to keep on doing videos. I do want to do another video on popularity because I feel like that's a misunderstood or understood. Is that even a word? That's a silly word, understood, but it does make sense that it's not fully understood aspect of this game. And I also feel like morale is something that we also don't understand well. And I'll give you an example of that. I'm playing a side game, and this guy is playing North Canada, and I'm playing like Western Algeria or something. It's 31 player map. And he was like, oh, you don't want to attack that AI because you'll take a morale hit. And I was like, well, I'll take a morale hit of -5 until I kill him, like, whatever, dude. And anyway, I'm kicking ass in this game. I'm doing pretty good. And this dude in North Canada has like 20 points on me in those reward points. So like, I'm number 2 in the game. He's number 1 in the game. And so I think I've got a lot to learn about morale. I'm learning more about popularity. But if you think about it, morale is tied into how much resources you get out of each territory, and it's essential to the economy. So anyway, my point being, I'm going to keep on casting games. Tips and tactics are important to me. I'm going to keep on doing novelty games. I think I'm going to do a novelty game, another cavalry novelty game. And what I want to do is I want to have an entire coalition that only builds cavalry. So like, it would be in a 31 player game, so there'd only be 3 of us. But I just want all of us, just horses everywhere, just swarming with the horses. So that's my job, guys. Right? I want to make fun content, interesting content, subscriber games, novelty games, tips and tactics. As far as being a uh, judge over some crap, I'm not going to do it. I've just kind of given myself permission to not do that. It's like, look, I've got a full-time job now. I think if you don't know, I did move to Kansas City because my mom was sick. So I was helping her out and she's gotten much better. And so I went ahead and went back into the marketplace and I'm a career facilitator slash instructor. So I'm kind of helping people to get job skills to get back into the job market. And pretty cool work actually, but it's, full time, and and it's not a lot of money. It's like 40K. Um, but it's enough, and while I'm living in Kansas City, if I decide to go back to teaching, I can make a lot more just because of my career ladder. I've been doing it for 20 years, but I don't think I want to do teaching anymore. Like, I think I'm done with that. I really do. Um, can you imagine having 28 14-year-olds cycle through your class every day, 7 times a day? So like I have like 120 14-year-olds coming in large groups into my room. And then what's my job? Oh, I'm supposed to make them know math. Do they want to know math? No, they don't. They don't want to know math at all. But I have to make them know math. So yeah, it's funny, but I'm done with that. But look, guys, just so you know, you got to work it out amongst yourselves, please, uh, because I just can't. I can't go in there. I can't spend time. I could dig through the newspaper. I could dig through the front reports or whatever, but no, I can't. I just can't do that. If someone wants to take a job with my channel as the, what would that be? Attorney general, right? My prosecutor. If somebody wants to take on that job as being like the referee, then please come forward. I'll deputize you on the spot. I'll put a fucking silver star on your chest. But anyway, here's what's happening right now in this game. We did allow Poland in to the coalition. Big country, almost 100 territories, really helps to bump us up to sort of finalize that first place status that we're sort of enjoying right now. So let's look at the coalitions here. So we are 312 here. North America is doing well. They're coming in as well. And Transverse, this is an interesting story. Transverse was fighting against China. And when I say China, that was his username. So look to previous videos. And China wanted to join them. And I think there was just so much bad blood there that they were like, fuck you. And they attacked him. And they were already at war with him or something. I don't know. But it does turn out that China, I think it was Manchuria maybe, I don't know, was a viewer. But the weird thing about, now that the channel's kind of picking up speed, is we don't know if they were a viewer at the beginning of this game or they are now a viewer because they've sort of caught the echo from the multiverse, and then they jumped on the channel. But anyway, at one point, I pointed out to them, if you accept this guy into your coalition, you will be a challenger for first place. And they were kind of like, nope, fuck this guy. And so they are now in 3rd or 4th place in terms of the coalitions in the game. But as y'all know, 5th place, as y'all know, things can change, right? And again, a lot of that's dependent on how many people are in the coalition. So let's take a look at that. According to provinces, let's rank it. So North America, who is the 2nd place coalition, still has a slot available. That is significant. That matters, right? Transverse has all 7 slots filled. So as soon as they start really rolling, then they could potentially really start getting stuff going because they have all 7. NoApp still has 3 slots available. So, and it looks like Tropicverse has, they only had 1, I think, maybe 2 when I saw before. So they've got a couple more going as well. So that's good. All right. I don't want this to go on for too long. I did want to talk briefly about Trondheim. Trondheim up here, I did accept him in to the 7 because Power of Us was out of the game and inactive. And when I say inactive, I mean it. Like I was bombing in. Oh, I just moved that guy. I hate that. See, so clicking and dragging. There we go. So I've been bombing out these territories for a long time. I bombed out this territory, which is now Popcat. I think this one and this one too. And he just wasn't moving. And so what was happening was I was bombing into these territories, and then they were just rebelling over because, the more you bomb, the lower the morale gets, and then eventually they rebel. And so at some point I thought, well, okay, Power of Us is just not coming back. He got kicked from our coalition from inactivity, and then he said, hey, I'll join back. And then his cooldown was over and he wasn't joining back. So I was wondering what's going on. Finally, he reached out to me and said, hey, my internet is not good where I'm at. We had a family emergency. We had to go overseas. And so, please, keep that in consideration. So I reached out to Trondheim and I said, hey, this is the deal. One of our founding members is coming back in the game. Are you okay with becoming a silent brother? And what that means is you're a full member. We'll share map with you. And you are the number one player that will come into the game if anybody has to leave the game. And believe it or not, like it feels like all of us are solid, but I've played enough of these subscriber games. Someone always leaves the game. Life happens, and these games take months. So Trondheim is now officially our number one go-to. If anything happens with any of our 7, he's coming in and he's going to fill that gap. In the meanwhile, if you're in the European coalition and you have not shared map with him, please do share map with him because he is a full brother and was super cool. Like voluntarily stepped down so that Power of Us could join back in, so that one of our founding members could join back in. So super cool guy. He is one of us, period. All right. That's it. Really, the main thing I kind of wanted to get across during this message to you was I can't be an umpire. I just can't do it. I've kind of looked at it and tried, and I'm like, I like all these guys, and it's a funny thing. Like sometimes I'll talk to people in a side chat, and I'm like, this guy's great, and then I'll see them like attacking each other, and I'm like, holy shit. These guys are mean or like they're attacking each other. And so here's the thing, like the way I want to interact with my subscribers is that first way, that friendly way. Like that's what I want to happen. I do not want to be an umpire. I do not want to be a, some kind of rule guru, because I'm not, first of all. And second of all, I'm a commentator, right? I'm here to sort of comment on what's happening in the game and to sort of unite us as subscribers and keep this game interesting. So that's that, guys. Thanks for checking in. I'll see y'all next time. Adios, amigo.